Hey friend, how is it going? Stuart here. I'm going to talk to you about online courses. And gosh, do we need a training about what online courses are? I know. I mean, how much more Zoom University do we need here, right? We don't need any more. The point is we want to have training that gets us in touch with people, helps us develop relationships, get progress in our career, and have an amazing experience, really get experience that maybe we don't have yet. And so how can online courses help us get there? Because there's different types of modalities of the way you can learn something today. Online courses have their place. And I can talk to you about what I think online courses should deliver for somebody. And let's just jump right in. So the first thing I think online courses should offer is repeatability. So if something is said amazingly well and really makes its point and delivers results, then it should be something that should be able to be repeated over and over again. And it can be said once, recorded, and then made available for many people to the effect to improve the lives of more than just one person. And so online courses can be there for somebody who, for me, a lot of times I'll listen to something and I won't get it the first time. And it's really only when I listen a second time to something that I actually get it. And so having online courses there for me has been huge. It's really been transformative for me in my career. And another common example of why online courses and repeatability is useful is that you might not get it until you've kind of gone to bed that night and you're sitting in bed or you're brushing your teeth, you're making dinner, and something just clicks. And you said, oh, that's amazing. I get it now. Let me go back and watch that again and make sure I got it. So repeatability is huge. Another example of repeatability comes from, say, the networking situation, where in my courses, for example, in the networking courses, we talk exactly about, exactly what to do and say in a networking meeting. One of the problems with networking is that everyone's talking about it, but it's not well defined. Have you ever noticed that? It's not well defined. Well, in an online course, we can define it exactly. The script, for example, of what to say and do, the before, during, and after of a networking meeting, how to stay in touch with somebody after a networking meeting can all be explained online and then constantly referred to. So it's repeatability is key. And then serving as a reference document, a reference material is second. It's like having your own library instantly accessible to you in this different modality, in this different medium. So that reference and that repeatability is huge. Now, in the online courses that we produce through the Career Accelerator program, what we're doing is we're actually taking a lot of the guesswork out of the job hunt and producing material which is only exactly what people need. So when it comes to, say, having a resume training, it's up to a good online course to produce a perfect resume and actually do more than just work on templates and things like that. It's to actually see through the ultimate goal for this exercise, which is to get a job. So a good online course when it comes to resume training will not only deliver the amazing template and the format, but it will actually challenge the preparer of the resume to come up with some nice accomplishment statements and really actually prepare them for the interview in the course of preparing the resume. And when it comes to, say, customization of the resume, what are the shortcuts that are available? So an online course, when it comes to resume training, a good one, will give you that perfect resume and will see through to what your objective is, not just to prepare a resume. No, it's to go out and get a great job. So online courses can deliver that when you find the right one. Career Accelerator offers the right one, called Stuart Resume. Another example of an online course would be messaging to people in the course of the job hunt. So we know that, this is not like 100 years ago where we ride our horse or walk and sit down with somebody face to face as the first means of meeting somebody. Or writing a letter and hoping that 3 weeks later the ship arrives and someone receives our letter, and 6 weeks later we get a response. Today is the digital era. And so more often than not, we're going to be stimulating this other counterparty in our job hunt with an electronic message, an electronic stimulus. And then we want to be able to start with a message and then take them through a process so that we end up getting them to know us, like us, and support us. All right, so the latter parts of that are networking. The initial parts are the messaging that we do to actually get somebody to talk with us on that calendar. And I don't know if what your calendar looks like right now, but if you're like a lot of people, you look at your calendar and you see that you don't actually have any networking meetings coming up, when in fact, it wouldn't be too crazy to have on average 1 per day, 20 in a month. And that's completely possible. And it doesn't require an advanced degree or anything like that to get networking meetings on your calendar. It just takes solid messaging. So an online course relating to messaging will be able to tell you exactly what that messaging process is. In our program, we teach 6 precise steps, beginning with the initial outreach to say getting it on the calendar, right, to showing up. There are kind of 6 processes there. How to navigate LinkedIn to make that work for you. An online course should be able to deliver exactly what to say and do in a message with exact templates so you can get that information and constantly refer back to it. Remember that repeatability, that reference material is super important. An online course should always be available to you, say lifetime access, so that you can always refer back to it. In the area of networking, right? Networking is something that's really poorly defined. Online courses can define networking precisely because you've got the space, the time, you can replay things if you don't initially get them. Networking in the sense of getting somebody to know us and like us and want to support us in our job hunt. And what I love about the online courses that we teach here in the Career Accelerator program is we teach that networking is the same thing as interviewing. And when you really think about what that means, that's putting the power back into your hands. Because on one hand, you can't assume, you can't predict if you send a resume, if the 6 people and the 4 computer systems, whatever it is, are going to actually spit out a yes and give you an interview invite, right? That's being very passive and disempowered in the job hunt. Whereas if you add networking into the mix, you can decide who you want to talk to and when and how, and you can take these people through a process so that you get these people on your calendar and you talk to them. And you can even pair networking with applying online to really juice and boost the applying online aspect of what you do. A good course, a good online course is going to teach you all of these things relating to networking so that you can confidently walk onto that stage. And even if it's your first time, you've got the tools, you've got the practice sessions under your belt, you have feedback with the people in that community for that course to help you get to where you want to go and really master networking. And so online courses are this aspect of coaching which don't replace coaching, because coaching should also include that chance to have a safe space to communicate one-on-one where necessary. And that type of product is certainly available in the market, although not often well defined because there's no kind of organizing body that tells you what coaching is and isn't. But certainly online courses have a role to play, and you can create a library of different trainings relating to the resume, to cover letters, to job offer messaging, to what is networking, even how to master networking. And then you can even have just the full process, the full system. In our case, it's called the Career Accelerator program, the full system taking you from start to finish. And there's an online component to each of those sections and modules. So online courses, while they can be really not great for socializing, they do have a wonderful element in the sense of their repeatability, their reference aspect. And then if they're good, they're going to tell you exactly what to say and do. And that's really helpful. Just like a professional sports person needs to have that direction, like a professional, say, hockey player, right? When you think about the game of ice hockey, most of the game isn't played in the center ice. Most of that game is played on the outskirts, on the sides, on the boards, probably just like a lot of other sports, but especially in hockey. So training in those more challenging spaces along the board really gets that professional player ready for game day and builds their confidence. Online courses do the same thing. They go to those spaces where work needs to be done, or maybe work hasn't been done, or No one's guiding you exactly on what to do in that environment, in that situation, and lays everything clear. That's what a good online course does. So thank you for watching. And I hope this gives you some confidence that online courses can help you get to where you want to go and can be an important and are an essential component of success in the career, in career development, getting a job, internships in general.